The longest homestand of the season continues. A new team in town for another four-game series. The White Sox came in and lost all four. Big crowds again for this Monday evening contest between the Houston Astros and the Oakland A's. The Astros come in 30 games over 500. The A's have been much better lately. They have won 16 of their last 20, and they're now 10 games over. Last time the Astros saw them, the Astros put them under 500 as they continue to play good baseball against the team from Oakland. Hi, everybody, and welcome. Todd Callis alongside Jeff Blum. Glad you could join us. Another new team in Blummer. A very successful opening series against the Chicago White Sox. Now the Oakland A's are in town, and when you look at how these teams have done within the division, that tells a lot of the story with these two teams.
Tale of two stories, yeah. These teams, within your division, you are going to play each team 19 times. That adds up to 76 games during the regular season within your division. That's what the Houston Astros have succeeded at, is beating up on teams within their division, namely the Seattle Mariners and Oakland Athletics. The Astros leading the way with that 27-10 record. The Oakland A's not so good within the division, 12-25. They played very well outside, especially in that American League Central, but once they get in the division, that's where they start to lose ground.
When you take a look at the head-to-head, the Astros have really done some damage against this team.
Yeah, and our Lowell's whole team together is going to show you in those 9 games against Oakland. They are 8-1. They are averaging 7.8 runs per game, the .325 batting average, two home runs per game. They have been absolutely teeing off. They have been lopsided. A lot of that is because of the offense. The pitching is going to do extremely well, but we know that these guys have prodigious numbers against these Oakland A's pitchers.
You mentioned Oakland doing well against the other division. The Central and the East combined, they are 31-13. Not so much against the West, but lately they've been playing teams from outside the division and doing very well.
Yeah, they have 5.6 runs against those other American League teams. It's second since June 16th. We know they have the firepower to go out there and put up some runs. That's where the Astros have done well, keeping the Oakland A's in the ballpark. They can slug the baseball, but if you keep them in the ballpark, you're going to be successful. And also, that pitching staff against the Houston Astros has struggled a little bit too. So if they can outslug the A's, they're going to be just fine.
The All-Star Garrett Cole on the mound tonight for the Houston Astros. He'll be opposed by the A's' Frankie Montas. A couple of right-handers to kick off this series right around the corner. TNT Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Buick. Visit your local Buick dealer. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it. The Astros had 5 All-Stars named last night to the American League All-Star team. We'll have more on that as Julia Morales joins us next.
Here and a big night last night. Astros had the night off, but we're all watching the TV. MLB announcing the All-Stars, and the Astros would have a handful collected. AJ Hinch was the one to deliver the news yesterday. First, he thanked the team for being so good last year to allow his coaching staff to go, and then told those guys who would be joining him for the 2018 Midsummer Classic. Like I said, it's a handful. Starting with Justin Verlander, who's going for the 7th time, so it never gets old, though. Jose Altuve getting all the votes, like most of the votes. 5th consecutive year for him. Springer with back-to-back years. Cole going back for his first time since 2015. And then Alex Bregman going for the very first time. He actually had to wait a little longer than others to find out. We have that story later. But our Best in Texas Power Pitcher is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. And today's pitcher, Garrett Cole, he was quick to give credit to the guys around him for leading him back to an All-Star game. Him and Justin Verlander, combined numbers, pretty impressive if you ask me. 23-5 between those two guys, a 2.25 ERA. How about 355 strikeouts? These two headed for the first time as Astros to the All-Star game. They couldn't be more proud with what they've done in that Astros uniform, as well as the entire Astros fan base and those in the dugout right now who are watching them pitch every 5th day, guys.
Garrett Cole, very impressive, getting back to the All-Star game. Second time. Last time was in 2015 with the Pirates, Julia mentioned, and what a season it's been so far.
Yeah, deservedly so. Trying to get that 10th win today against the Oakland A's. In 18 starts this season, ERA is phenomenal at 2.7. The whip under 1. He is 3rd in Major League Baseball in the strikeout department with 158. Going out there trying to set career numbers every time he goes out. He's got 3 starts against these Oakland A's. He's 2-0 on the season with a 3.86.
Yeah, he's faced them so far every series. This is the 4th series between these two teams, and Cole has pitched in the first 3, and he will have this lineup to face for Bob Melvin and the Oakland A's. Dustin Fowler leads things off for Oakland, followed by Mark Canha. A lot of power in this lineup. Jed Lowry, the number 3 hitter. Chris Davis, the DH. Matt Olson at first base. Stephen Piscotty bats 6th in right field. Matt Chapman at 3rd base. Marcus Semien, the shortstop. And Jonathan Lucroy behind the plate. Astros playing game 5 of this 11-game homestand. And they couldn't have done much better against the White Sox. A close one yesterday, but a 2-1 win to wrap up a 7-0 season series against Chicago. And now they face a team they have defeated 8 times in a row, the Oakland A's. The first pitch of the game is called a strike from Larry Vanover, and we are underway on a Monday night. Glad you could join us. Todd Callis, Jeff Blum, Julia Morales, and 5 Astros All-Stars that are going to be playing in the 2018 All-Star game. We could add to that total, as we saw happen last year when the Astros had 5 All-Stars named to the initial roster, and then Chris Davinsky was added. The Astros ended up with a half dozen that year. Called strike to Fowler, and it's 1-2. Swing and a miss at the high fastball, 97 miles an hour to start this one for a strikeout.
It's a good way to start for Garrett. Saw him working that outside corner. Fastball, breaking ball, and then the elevated fastball. A lot of talk about that four-seam fastball. That's one right there, and you can see on the Mattress Firm Supermo that elevated fastball is deceptive. You think you're on it, and it's by you by the time that swing gets going.
Does a good job getting that leadoff hitter in an inning 77% of the time. Here's the ball sent in the air to center field. George Springer is there in front of the warning track. Now at the edge of the track. George puts it away for out number 2. Here is the defense. Springer is in center field, flanked by the rookie Kyle Tucker playing his 3rd big league game. In right field, Josh Reddick. The third baseman, Alex Bregman. Marwin Gonzalez, the shortstop. Tyler White gets a start at first base alongside Altuve on the right side. And Tim Fedorovich gets a chance to catch Garrett Cole tonight. Cole facing Jed Lowry. Lowry not named to the All-Star team, although there will be a replacement for Gleyber Torres, who was the backup second baseman to Jose Altuve. And we very well could see the former teammates Altuve and Lowry being on the same All-Star team. Lowry having quite a year, leads the team in batting average at .290, leads the team in runs batted in with 62. He's tied for 2nd in the league in that department. Fouls went out of play. It's 1-1. Last time Cole faced the A's, he allowed 4 runs in 6 innings against Oakland. Had a huge lead to work with in that game. Garrett's had some large leads to work with this season. As Lowry sends one towards left. Easy play for Kyle Tucker. And he puts it away for a 1-2-3 inning. Garrett Cole, a strikeout and 2 flyouts. Southwest Airlines. George Springer leads off in center field, followed by the All-Star Alex Bregman, also the All-Star Jose Altuve, back-to-back. Josh Reddick in right field batting fourth. Evan Gattis putting up huge numbers as the DH. Marwin Gonzalez playing shortstop again. Kyle Tucker, Tyler White, and Tim Fedorovich for the Astros tonight.
Frankie Montas on the mound. 7 starts this season, going back and forth between AAA and the big leagues. Fastball comes in firm to quite firm, averaging 95.5 miles an hour on that fastball, and he will throw it at 75% of the time. Next pitch will be that slider, the occasional changeup.
First one amped up at 98 to George Springer, who swings through it. Springer also an All-Star. The first 3 in this lineup all named to the American League All-Star squad. George going back-to-back seasons. Chops one foul at the plate. 98 and 99 to start this game.
Yeah, don't listen to me. Scouting report's all off.
Scouting report's on. Just Frankie's a little amped up.
Jeez, over boogie.
Wants to do well against the defending world champions. He has not fared well against them in his previous outings. 1 start and 2 out of the bullpen. But he has been 98, 99, and 98 so far in 3 appearances, 7 1/3 innings, 16 hits and 12 runs, 10 of them earned against the Astros. There's that. Probably a changeup, or was that a slider? Changeup's usually around 88. That was a slider that came in at 88.
Well, his fastball is usually 95.
Yeah, it's true. Everything.
Talk about him being amped up. Everything's exaggerated.
On the ground at 99, play there by Chapman. His throw across to the other Matt Olson, and in time to get Springer. Montas in the upper 90s to start this game.
Well, he's amped up. I'm sure the Oakland A's are amped up too, playing against the division leader. They haven't had much success, but maybe trying to set the tone early by ramping up that fastball a little bit. Frankie's gotten roughed up in the last couple of games. 10 walks in his last 4 games. 9 earned runs in his last 2.
He matched his career high, walking 4 Astros to start that stretch of 4 games. Here's Alex Bregman. Takes a pitch for a ball. It's 1-0. Julia will tell the story later of how A.J. Hinch informed Bregman he was going to be an All-Star. It's a good one, and Bregman could not have been more thrilled to learn the news. This one on the ground to the right side. Lowry is there, and there's 2 outs in the inning. No Player Does More is presented by HEB. Jose Altuve gets right-hand pitching, put him amongst the best in the game over the last 30 years or so, 33 years.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty solid group of All-Stars and MVPs. Altuve trying to etch his name in there in every record book there is. Doing a good job. Right on right.
It's 44 seasons worth since '74. Altuve gets into one towards center field, coming on Fowler, and he will get there and make the play. An 8-pitch first inning for Frankie Montas, and the Astros retired in order.
today. Chevy Stropole. Astros had 5 players named to the All-Star team. There could be more. So follow us at ATT Sportsnet SW and vote. If you could choose one, which Astros player would you add to the All-Star roster? Would it be Charlie Morton, Yuli Gurriel, or Colin McHugh? Let us know. We'll tell you which player wins later in the broadcast. TK?
Almost 2,000 votes already in tonight's Stro poll.
Wow.
A popular topic tonight.
It is a little bit of a buzz topic on Twitter and things like that, but a couple of guys that really deserve to be on there.
Yeah, it's too bad the All-Star rosters aren't bigger. There are a lot of guys that probably deserve to be on there that didn't quite make it. We mentioned Jed Lowry earlier, and certainly those 3 for the Astros you could all make a case for. Chris Davis facing Garrett Cole in the second inning. Takes a pitch inside for a ball. It's 1-1. Cole in the first inning, a 1-2-3 inning, a strikeout and a couple of flyouts. Chris Davis with a 10-game hitting streak starting the night. Batting .390, has 6 doubles and a home run during this stretch. When Cole faced the A's, we mentioned he had a big lead to work with, ended up giving up 4 runs in 6 innings. That was the first time Cole allowed 4 runs as an Astro. It's now happened 3 times, including his last start against the Rangers in Arlington. Called strike. It is 3-2. The designated hitter Chris Davis. We are happy to be joined this inning, the second inning, by the owner of the Houston Astros, who joins us in the booth after a big announcement was made earlier today. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss for the first out. Jim, first of all, welcome to the booth.
Thank you. Good to see you guys. Harris been on a winning streak. Keep it going.
Yeah, it's been nice lately, but a big announcement today. You guys extending Minute Maid Park through 2050. We're going to be here a long time.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's a great ballpark. Downtown's really growing nicely, and it's getting surrounded. When it was first built, there wasn't much here. Now the people are moving downtown, so we think it's a great spot. We've got to keep it maintained and keep it in great shape, and we're really happy about being able to extend the lease.
What does it say about your commitment to this community?
Well, we've always been committed to the community, but you know, nowadays these ballparks don't last very long. You know, Dallas built a brand new one, but we kind of looked at it long term and said, you know, if we really do a good job of maintaining the ballpark and keep improving the areas like we did center field, we would want to be here for a long time because the location is so good. It's central and the fans can get in and out and keep the fan experience first class. That was what we were trying to do. So it worked for the city and the Sports Authority and the county, and it's going to work for us, and so we're happy about it.
The original lease went through 2030. The Harris County Houston Sports Authority Board of Directors voting to extend that lease now 20 more years to 2050. You see exciting things happening to this area.
Well, yeah, when we bought the team just 7 years ago, all of these apartments weren't here. There's 3 new apartment buildings and you know, the new Marriott and a couple new hotels. So I think this is going to be the central spot with the ballpark here. You've got the Rockets right down the street and the soccer. I think this whole area is going to fill in, and people are going to want to live down here and get out of that traffic eventually.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Great location now. You talked about the adjustments you've made to center field, and we actually heard Reed Ryan talking before when this announcement was made that you guys are going to continue to make adjustments to this ballpark and enhance it for the fan.
Yeah, we've got a list of projects we'd like to do. We can't do them all at once, but we'll knock one out every year. I think we're going to do something in right field next year, or look at something underneath the scoreboard, and then constantly renovating the areas that get older or a little worn out, and you know, maintaining the ballpark. We have a whole crew that works here full time that just repairs things, believe it or not. So it does get some wear and tear, but it's in good shape, and you know, eventually the roof may need to be replaced. So that the deal moving forward allows us some money to maintain that, and you know, it's good for the community.
Matt Olson with a 3-2 count, fouls off a pitch. We're joined by Jim Crane, the owner of the Astros, in the booth, and Minute Maid Park has been filled up on a regular basis this season. You must love seeing how this area has fallen in love with the Astros.
Well, they're playing good, and our fans, you know, it's all about the fans. I tell the players they pay the bills, so if we win, they'll come, and we've been packing them in here, so it's been great for everybody.
High pop-up. Tyler White's the one who ends up taking control and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Oh, the big crowds lining up. The early week crowds have been good. The weekend crowds have been outstanding, and all year long we have seen this place on a regular basis filled up, so it's good to see. And you feel like the more and more the people will live downtown, now all of a sudden it's an easy walk to get to the stadium.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of new apartments. They're really nice right here, so we're hoping they'll find their way over here every night. But no, I think, you know, the season tickets have expanded. You know, the guys are playing good, and I think, you know, it's a team you like to love because the guys get along so well and like playing together. Fun to watch.
Yeah, they truly love playing together. Now the All-Star selections came out. You've got 5 on there, and 2 of them one was acquired after the trade deadline last year, Justin Verlander, and now Garrett Cole on the mound. How exciting is it to know that a couple of acquisitions that you made to make this team even better than it was last year going to that All-Star game?
Well, you know, those guys have really played well since they've gotten here, Derek and Justin, and it's just great to see that many guys on the team. Hopefully we'll get a couple more before it's over.
We had a quick inning here.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like where your head's at with the more All-Stars. That's what I was trying to say.
Deliver the message quickly and get the fans in here. That's your job.
Believe it.
All right. Well, we appreciate the time. Next time you're in, we'll ask you about your golf tournament. How about that?
All right. That'd be good. That'd be good. We've got a big one coming.
All right. Bottom half of the second inning. Nobody has reached base for either side. A couple of 1-2-3 innings for Garrett Cole and a 1-2-3 first for Frankie Montas. Now facing a guy that he was traded for. Josh Reddick takes a called strike. Reddick steps in with a .265 batting average on the year, .333 in his last 6 games. Reddick was sent to the LA Dodgers where Montas began his career. In a trade in 2016 with Frankie Montas and Jarrell Cotton amongst others coming back over to Oakland as Rich Hill and Josh Reddick were traded to the Dodgers. Reddick flies out for the first out. Astros been playing well at home, starting to move that home record close to their road record. That road record took such a big jump after that 10-0 trip a couple of trips ago. The Astros have played exactly 46 games at home and 46 on the road. They are 32-14 away from Minute Maid Park and 29-17 at home. Here's Evan Gattis. Gattis, team leading 18 home runs, team leading 62 runs batted in. takes a called strike. Evan with a day off yesterday. Today, Yuli Gurriel and Tony Kemp getting a rest. Also, Max Stassi with Tim Fedorovich catching. Yuli looks pretty relaxed.
So does the Pena.
It does. 1-2 the count. That's how guys should look on an off day.
Yeah.
No cares in the world. Ground ball towards third. Chapman has it. And Montas has retired the first 5 tonight as Gaddis grounds out.
Shiner box spotlight is going to fall on. How about George and Marwin? Got to get these guys going. Struggling a little bit of late, but they'd like to see these green uniforms show up because they swing the bats extremely well. 452 combined, 6 home runs, 18 RBIs, 15 runs scored. All that damage being done against these Oakland A's. Sometimes seeing a ball club you hit well against can get you locked back in. But Marwin's feeling that bunt situation after last night.
Yeah, the bunt provided the winning run for the Astros in a suicide squeeze situation on an 0-2 pitch. And Marwin around the bunt here on the first pitch. It happened in the 7th inning of yesterday's game to give the Astros a 2-1 lead.
You see Yuli moving before the pitch was delivered. That kind of gives you the idea that that's going to be a suicide squeeze, and Yuli anticipating that bunt down. But great job in a 2-strike count by Marwin to get that down, but kind of blurted it out at the time. But I was surprised in an 0-2 count with a couple of pitches to waste that Lucas Giolito didn't let one go.
He pitched very well to Giolito against the Astros, but that extra run in the 7th inning proved to be enough. A 4-pitch walk to Marwin Gonzalez. And he's a 2-out base runner.
Put those numbers up, and Montas got scared.
I'm telling you. Montas retired the first 5, was cruising along, then a 4-pitch walk. He's been doing a lot better job in his pitches per inning this year, certainly than last year. He was over 19 pitches per inning last year. This year he's down to 15.1 in his previous 7 starts. Now he faces Kyle Tucker. Kyle 1 for 7 in his 2 big league games so far. Fouls one off the end of the bat. It's 0-1. Yesterday he grounded out into the shift a couple of times to second base and to shortstop. Said he didn't see the shift much last year, but started to see it a little more this year at the AAA level in the Pacific Coast League. And we don't see the shift here with a runner on first base and 2 outs. In the dirt, it's 1-1. Kyle has played left field and batted 7th in all 3 games with the Astros. Had a hit, a run scored, and an RBI on a bases loaded walk in his first game. Yesterday went 0 for 3 with 3 groundouts. This one tapped back to the pitcher. Montas bare hands and throws in time to get Tucker for the final out of the inning. So a walk and 1 man left on base. We're still scoreless. Third inning, A's and Astros scoreless. Astros with the only base runner of this game. We're joined by Brianna Hughes, who always tells us the latest and greatest going on here at Minute Maid Park. Before we get into what's going on the rest of this homestand, what a kids' day it was yesterday.
Oh my gosh, so much fun. I mean, I think, everyone who was at the ballpark, it was a sold-out crowd yesterday. It was our first kids' day, had that exclusive jersey giveaway for kids only. I think just across the board, just a really fun day for kids here.
So tonight, obviously, we kick off a new team with the A's, and tomorrow's a big day here, Game of Thrones Day.
Yeah, our annual Game of Thrones night. So we're really excited. We've got a really cool giveaway associated with our Game of Thrones night activation. It's our Charlie Morton Ruler of the Realm bobblehead. So it is a special ticket package for Game of Thrones night. So it's not a gate giveaway, so you do have to buy a specific ticket for it. But tickets are still available, limited tickets. So definitely encourage people to head to the website, astros.com/GOT, to get those if you're looking to get that bobblehead. But one of a kind for sure.
It's going to be out by the left field?
Yeah, so we'll have the actual throne from HBO here, so fans can come and take pictures with it. We'll have a photographer that's provided, and that's free. So anyone that's in attendance, no voucher needed. Swing by the atrium from when gates open at 5 o'clock, and then through the 7th inning, we'll be out there taking pictures with the throne.
Because Blummer and I are going to be in center field broadcasting tomorrow.
You guys going to swing by?
That would be a quick little
Yeah.
Oh,
pop over?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that'll
I
be
will
easy, right?
definitely be over there.
Yeah.
Trying to talk whoever's setting it up to put it in center field for me to call the game from. But I know that's not going to happen. I'm fan friendly.
What were we thinking? We should have put that. Yeah, we should have put that out in the batter's eye.
Incredible.
Yeah, it is. It's massive. It's got some weight to it. So, that's from last year, and we're excited to bring it back this year for fans to interact with.
So that's going to be tomorrow. Wednesday, we're bringing back the rings.
The replica World Champions rings. Yes, we're
Fans
excited to
love
bring it back. Yeah, it's been a well-received giveaway, and the game is sold out, but, have a few reminders for fans that are coming out to that game that the giveaway is for ticketed fans only. And gates will be open early, so we are opening gates at 4 p.m. on that day, so definitely come out early, get here early, spend some time here at the ballpark, and then we'll be distributing those rings through the 6th inning. So at the end of the 6th inning, we're going to shut down ring distribution. So we're excited to be able to do this again. People have plenty of time to get here, and it's going to be a fun day.
That's pretty,
sellout crowd.
Pretty cool, because normally you can't get in that early. So
Exactly.
You can watch Astros BP, you can watch the whole thing.
Exactly. So there's plenty to watch. Yeah, the Astros will be taking BP until about 4:30, 4:45-ish. So definitely encouraging fans to come out.
That ring has been so popular, and that's going to be on Wednesday. Then on Friday, a new team comes in town. It'll be the last series before the All-Star break. The Tigers are in, and it's another big and bright Friday night in the Strozone promotion.
Yeah, we've got our Lance McCullers Ice T-shirt. So Lance McCullers, he's been pitching phenomenally, right? And we're excited to feature him on our Strozone T-shirt. So this is our fan section. So it is a special ticket package that fans can buy into. It's on the mezzanine level. It's every Friday night, and then this Friday's T-shirt design is Lance McCullers Jr. So we're excited to have that one.
Stirring it up.
Stirring it up, exactly.
And then Saturday, we already have 2 outs here and a strike on Lucroy. Saturday is the first ever, right? Justin Verlander promotion?
Yes, Justin Verlander strike or K counter bobblehead. So, fans can track the strikeouts that he's had this season. But yes, we're excited to do our first ever gate giveaway promotion with Justin Verlander. And it's going to be a popular one. So encouraging fans to get here early again. Lines are going to be a little bit long, but it's going to be tons of fun, and 10,000 fans will get that, and that's presented by AT&T.
Altuve making the play, not quite in time. Lucroy just barely beats it out. Jose had to throw off balance on the move and just missed getting Lucroy on the one-hop throw.
First hit on the board for the Oakland A's after 2 strikeouts. Altuve out of range, far to his left. Couldn't get much on that throw, and Lucroy beating it out for the first hit of this ball game. And it's interesting. You were talking about the K counter, and then Altuve makes a play, but this would match nicely with the Altuve hit counter.
Yeah, we did that a couple years ago.
Yeah.
We might have to bring that back. I mean,
he keeps racking them
I
up,
know,
yeah.
right? Going for 200 plus again this season. So we're excited. It's been a lot of fun to watch him, right?
Absolutely, day in, day out, he's amazing.
At JV with the strikeout counter, that's going to be on Saturday, and that'll be preceding Sunday, which is another special day, Princess Day at the ballpark.
Yeah, it's a magical time to come to the
Magical.
ballpark. No, it is our Princess Day. So we did this last year. It was our first annual Princess Day, and bringing it back again this year. So we're excited to be able to do that again. The VIP event is sold out, but there's still going to be tons of activities for fans that are coming out early to the ballpark. We'll have face painters, we'll have a photo booth, and then we'll have princesses that'll be roaming the concourse as well, so that fans can take pictures with them, and encouraging them to dress up too. It's a fun day at the ballpark, so definitely come out to that on this Sunday.
That'll be cool. That'll be Sunday, and that'll lead you right into the All-Star break. This has been a long homestand. You guys have had a lot going on.
Yeah, closing it out with a bang.
Brianna, as always, thank you for everything in terms of what's going on in the homestand. Appreciate it.
And
Thank you
highly
guys.
efficient.
Appreciate it.
Nice work.
Thanks.
It's 1945, the highest run differential in the first 92 games. Guess who's on top? Very good pitching and hitting team in the 2018 Houston Astros, beating out what they did last year by a pretty good margin. You see the 1998 New York Yankees on there at 182, and the result on the right-hand side. A couple of World Series winners on there, so that run differential allows you to go out there and get a very good record. And when you've got a very good record, you make it into the playoffs. And if you've got good pitching and hitting, sometimes you end up winning that World Series.
Yeah, it's been quite a start to the season for the Astros. 31 down, 61 up through 92 games. They're on pace for 107 wins. And even though they're not quite where they were last year, a win tonight will put them exactly even with last year's pace. And that's the team that was setting all the marks early and struggled in the month of August. Tyler White leads things off for the Astros. White getting a start tonight since coming up from AAA Fresno. He's 5 for 20 with 7 walks. It'll be Tyler and then Tim Fedorovich in the top of the order, George Springer. One thing we've learned about Tyler White is he will give you an extended at bat and not usually go out of the zone too often. Not afraid to take a walk.
A couple of walks Thursday night. Went 1 for 2.
That's hit high in the air to left field. White got under it. Marcana is there and puts it away for the first out. Frankie Montas has retired 7 of the first 8 he has faced, and here's Tim Fedorovich. Fedorovich takes a strike. 5 for 19 since his recall from AAA Fresno. A couple of RBIs and 3 runs scored. 1-1 the count. Ball found down the right field line. It stays 1-2. Last 2 times the A's have taken on the Houston Astros, they came into the series over 500 and left the series under 500. They know that can't happen this time around as they start this series 10 games over. Melvin's team taking on the Astros, who have defeated them 8 straight times. They were 18-17 back in May, and the Astros swept them here at Minute Maid, or in Oakland rather, pushed them to 18-19. And then again back in Oakland on June 12th, they were 34-33, and the Astros swept them again 34-35 when the Astros left town. 2-2 the count. Fedorovich goes down swinging. First strikeout for Montas, and there's 2 away. Here's George Springer.
First pitch slider, but summertime blues setting in on George Springer. See on the right hand side, his last 24 games, 111 batting average. That OPS is usually closer to an on base percentage for George when he's going well.
George named to the All-Star team, but will not participate in the home run derby. George said that that is something that he does not excel at very well, and he doesn't want to make himself a little bit of a fool in front of the national audience. Says, I don't hit home runs much in batting practice. So he decided to,
it's interesting,
let other guys try it. This ball's hit okay to left, but not too well, because right there is Mark Canha. George flips the bat in frustration as he is the final out of the inning.
The MLB.TV All-Star Sale is here for $39.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand on your favorite supported devices with At-Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV to take advantage of this sale.
On to the fourth we go. Both starting pitchers have been outstanding so far. Garrett Cole only allowing a little squib hit for a single to Jonathan Lucroy with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Cole has struck out 5, including 3 last inning, as he faces Mark Canha to lead off the 4th. Canha swings to the first pitch. Canha flied out to center his first time up. 3 on the left side of the infield for the Astros. Canha had a good series against the Indians, went 6 for 13 against Cleveland.
I think Garrett's trying to figure out where that pitch missed. Kind of had that puzzled look on his face after that curveball looked like it ran back over the plate.
Now the fastball misses away. It's 3-1. Cole ahead of most of the hitters so far tonight. 42 pitches, 29 strikes. But in this count, he's only had 1 of those called a strike.
Yeah, the MD Anderson strike zone shows you that 3rd pitch being in the zone, catching that top portion. And a paint job at 97 on the outside corner. Yeah, Garrett Cole is a guy who is angry in the zone.
A's overall very patient team, see a lot of pitches as a group. 3-2 pitch is hooked foul.
And to your point, their chase percentage as a team is at 27.4%, just 2nd best in Major League Baseball. So disciplined.
Into center field, pretty well hit. Springer at the track. He is there and makes the play. Just a few feet in front of the bullpen wall for out number 1. Coming off a season sweep of the White Sox, the Astros continue to play great baseball against the AL Central.
Score a lot of runs against the Central too. Had some tough times in the past against the Indians, but have a winning record against them. Twins giving them issues, but they'll be able to face them again, and they still haven't faced the Detroit Tigers, who come in after the Oakland A's here to finish off this homestand.
The A's have just won 2 out of 3 against Cleveland, both at Progressive Field in Cleveland this weekend, and also back at home just last week. They took 4 out of 6 against the Indians, and right now they basically have the same record as the AL Central Division leaders. Cleveland leading that division by 9.5 games, and the A's have 1 more win and 1 more loss than the Indians, yet they are 6.5 games out of the 2nd wild card spot. It is one of those years for Cleveland where they can afford not to push the gas pedal too hard because they don't have competition, but if they want to get anywhere in the postseason, they may have to make a move at the trade deadline. Their bullpen continues to struggle in Cleveland, which is something that you don't usually hear. The 1-2 pitch is fouled out of play.
Yeah, it's definitely not something we've heard in years past. We've always based their dominance on having a very good rotation and a good bullpen to close things out. One name you keep hearing is that Brian Shaw, not in that bullpen, creating the depth. The struggles of Andrew Miller, DL stints for those guys too.
Oakland 18-6 against the Central this year. As Lowry takes one down and in, it's 2-2.
How about the A's taking 4 of 6 from the Cleveland Indians this year?
Bad year to be in the AL West.
Yeah, timing is everything, isn't it?
Although Bob Melvin has to feel real good about where his team is leading into the All-Star break.
This Oakland A's team kind of reminiscent of what the Astros did in 2015, kind of surprising a lot of teams out there. And what we were talking about is the timing, because the records actually lean towards the Oakland A's of the 2018 season. ERA is a little bit higher. We know the issues that the A's have with that pitching staff, but some of the peripherals and those home run and production numbers are very similar to what the Astros did in 2015, where they won that wild card spot. But to what Todd was saying about the timing and the rest of the American League West, just bad timing to be playing well. Mariners find ways to win, and the Astros are just doing Astro things.
Jed Lowry draws a 3-2 walk. Second base runner for the Oakland A's. First walk issued by Garrett Cole. Now Cole will face Chris Davis. Garrett Cole and his brother-in-law Brandon Crawford will be part of the All-Star teams again this year, as they were in 2015, this time on opposite sides. Crawford still with the Giants. Cole obviously moving from the National League to the American League, and that one's up and in on Chris Davis, 1-0.
Well, when he missed against Jed Lowry, it was to that arm side also, and that one missing to the arm side, well up and in on Chris Davis.
Davis struck out his first time up. Garrett has a very good chance to end up with the most strikeouts for an Astros pitcher before the All-Star game in franchise history. Just 4 shy of the record set by Mike Scott. Not only does he have the rest of this game, but Garrett will get another start against the Tigers the Saturday before the All-Star break. And then Garrett and AJ will discuss things to see if Garrett may want to pitch an inning in the All-Star game. You know that Justin Verlander, who pitches on Sunday, will not participate. He will be announced as one of the American League All-Stars. One and two the count to Davis. Tried to hold up, but he goes around. Runner on first, no need for a tag. Federovich throws the ball away. That's strikeout number 6 for Garrett Cole.
Second time Davis has gone down. Both times on that slider, unable to hold up here. It's that front side opening up early.
Now Cole facing Matt Olson, who popped up to Tyler White his first time up.
would imagine you're going to see Garrett Cole be aggressive with the fastballs on Matt Olson. And it's just because of the setup on Matt Olson. It's obviously something that got him to the big leagues. He did get that changeup in the first pitch. But maybe because Cole's trying to get ahead early with the off speed so he can speed him up late. But with those hands dangling out there, you got to get him back pretty early to catch up to velocity. And what I mean by getting him back, he probably has to start his swing just a hair earlier to catch up to Garrett Cole's fastball. Good stop by Fedorovich.
That bounced well in front of the plate.
It's a great view of how he spikes that curveball to create that downward movement.
He's got that slider around 88. The curveball comes in around 80. In addition to that high octane fastball. This is down again. It's 2-2. Cole making the All-Stars for the first time in 3 years. Justin Verlander for the first time in 5 years. Watch Verlander, what he did with the Astros last season over the final month plus the postseason, and then what he's done this year. It's hard to believe it's been 2013 since Verlander's been in an All-Star game. He's having maybe his best year of his career. Ball is fouled out of play. Five pitches this inning after Cole was cruising along with 38 pitches through 3.
Started the inning with 2 3-2 counts. One of them ended up being a walk.
A's don't run very often. Lowry at first hasn't attempted a steal all year, and Olson goes down looking. That is 7 strikeouts for Garrett Cole, and we are through 3.5.
Presented by Toyota. Alex Bregman, freshly crowned All-Star, leads American League third baseman in runs scored, hits, doubles, and RBIs. He has been captain clutch for the Houston Astros this season. Heated up in the month of June, earning that Player of the Month honor. Looking to continue things here in July. Don't forget about Blue Steel.
Had his 12-game hitting streak snapped yesterday. But still overall in the top 10 in OPS in the American League, coming in at 903. Rounded out his first time up. And as we welcome Julian Morales in here in the bottom half of the fourth inning, AJ had an interesting way to inform Alex that he was an all-star.
He always has an interesting way of informing his team of things just like that. But you got to wonder what Alex was feeling as AJ addressed the team. He went through the room first and talked about every guy who had ever been an all-star and how many times they had been. Then he announced this year's all-stars. Then he talked about Yuli, Colin McHugh, Charlie Morton, and how these guys needed to make loose plans in case there were to be replacements. And he talked to them. Then he told the guys to focus on the break and focus on playing well. Let's finish strong before the break. And then left the room as if he was done. However, he had planted with Garrett Cole. They had already planned out that Garrett was going to say, hey, wait a minute, that's it? That's all you got? So AJ turned back around. He looked at his list one more time. He said, yeah, Jose Altuve, Justin Verlander, Garrett Cole, George Springer. Oh yeah, Alex Bregman. You're coming too. He said the clubhouse went nuts right after, and then that's when Alex Bregman's face became beet red, and the guys showed him some love after that.
Well played.
Julia, I think Yuli jumped the gun a little bit on his Instagram story too.
Imagine that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you caught wind of that, but people on Twitter were letting me know. And I think Yuli may have let the cat out of the bag by videoing that little session.
It wouldn't be the first time Yuli broke some news on social media. Those two are pretty fun to watch on social, though.
Well, I was going to say, they're very good friends, and Yuli was probably pretty happy for the man.
Yeah, Yuli's breaking more stories than Ken Rosenthal.
Must follow.
Must follow.
At least we know who the source is now.
Congrats to Alex, and hopefully Yuli can somehow sneak in there too. He's had quite a first half.
Yeah, rightfully so. Lead the American League in that average with runners in scoring position.
Oh, Yuli, yes.
Yes.
A nod, yes, you deserve to be an all-star. 1-1 the count as Altuve bounces one foul. Altuve not only was the starting second baseman voted in, he was the overall top vote getter. That has never happened in Astros franchise history. So congratulations to Altuve, who's becoming one of the most popular players in the game.
And thus proving my point that he is the most adorable human on the baseball field, getting all those votes.
Mookie Betts was running a close second to him most of the way, but Altuve ended up with the most votes overall. So he will be in the starting lineup for his manager AJ Hinch 1 week from tomorrow. A little reminders there while he's in the batter's box.
Yeah, he may be working on technique, but in his head it's saying get a hit.
Up the middle, Simeon can't get there. There is the first hit of the game for the Houston Astros. Altuve, who else up the middle?
We're getting pretty good at this, aren't we?
We are calling some shots this week on Astros bases loaded. AJ and Julia hit a high note in Tampa Bay. Alex Bregman peaks up in the month of June and July, and Tony Kemp is wired for sound. All that and more on Astros bases loaded after the postgame show only on AT&T Sportsnet. We'll see if that first hit can get things going for the Astros. Here's Josh Reddick, who flied to center his first time up. Astros had 11 hits against Frankie Montas. The first time they faced him. That was on June 14th. They had 11 hits in 5 1/3 innings. Reddick 2 for 5 with a walk against Montas. Takes a called strike.
Jose Altuve, always a potential to steal. He has 13 on the season. We've got our StatCast powered by AWS. It gives you an idea of that lead that Jose Altuve will get out there. But remember, he likes to move a little bit. Sometimes he gets into that walking lead.
Ball gets away from Jonathan Lucroy, and that allows Altuve to get to second. He's thinking about third. He's going to go for it, and he's dead up. Altuve got a little over aggressive, and he's frustrated with himself as he is thrown out trying to advance to third.
Would have been exciting if he'd have made it. Got a little greedy. LaCroix wasn't exactly aggressive about going to it. Surprised him, and fortunately LaCroix put a throw on the money.
Ball outside is 2-1. Still a wild pitch to allow Altuve to get to second, but then he's thrown out, trying to advance to third. 2-2 the count. Reddick, who was named to the 50-year All-A's team, celebrating 50 years of baseball in Oakland, has always hit well against the A's. .333 batting average against his former squad. Goes after that pitch on 97. Josh is frustrated, as are the Astros so far through 4. We're scoreless.
History is presented by Mercedes-Benz. July 9th, 1968, 50th anniversary of the All-Star game at the Astrodome. And there were a lot of big names. Johnny Bench shaking hands or trying to. The National League wins that game 1-0. All that firepower in there and only one run scored. Bit of a pitcher's duel. There's a starting lineups for both ball clubs. Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Brooks Robinson, Harmon Killebrew, Frank Howard.
8 hits combined between those two squads somehow.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Tells you how good those pitchers were back in 1968. Year of the pitcher. 50 years ago today. Stephen Piscotty leads off against Garrett Cole. 6, 7, and 8 in the Oakland lineup. Scotty lined out to center his first time up. Cole so far just an infield hit and a walk-a-lout. He has struck out 7. And he has a 1-1 count here on Piscotty. Garrett started the year with 3 consecutive outings with double-digit strikeouts, 11 Rangers, 11 Padres, and then 14 more Rangers. Finished the month of April off with a 12 strikeout game against these Oakland A's. This ball is ripped to left on one hop. Kyle Tucker makes the play. Piscotty hit that ball as hard as anybody tonight, and he's a leadoff base runner.
Good fastball. Quick swing from Piscotty. Squares it up.
bring up Matt Chapman. Chapman struck out his first time up. Cole's had Chapman's number in their head-to-head matchups. He's 0 for 9 with 6 strikeouts against Garrett. He came off the DL on Tuesday, had a thumb contusion. Had a good series against the Indians, going 6 for 12. 16 games with that injury. 1-1 the count.
Got a spray chart, see why the Astros are shifting. They do it the most in baseball, and you can see the percentages of the last 100 baseballs put in play by Matt Chapman. A lot of them to that pull side, and that's why you see those quadrants or those triangles covered by at least one Astro. We'll leave Tyler White over there for the other 14%.
They are standing not too far from our location that we're going to be broadcasting from tomorrow. We are going to be out in center field. Be one of the crowd tomorrow. Right above the Batter's Eye restaurant will be our location for game 2 of this 4-game series. It's Game of Thrones night, dollar hot dog night, and we get to be out in the crowd night.
It's going to be awesome.
It is.
We love our people. It'll be a great. For me, you know, I rely on the monitors more than Todd does. I'm interested to see what the perspective is like for you, having to call some of these, you know, fly balls, base hits from center field, because we have the best seat in the house.
Absolutely.
I mean, we have got a great vantage point, especially in comparison to most ballparks around the league. Here at Minute Maid Park, we are spoiled, but we get to be spoiled out there in center field. It should be an interesting time.
I'm trying to think. It may even be. We may be able to see the corners, which sometimes we can't see. But I think the only play we might not be able to see is a ball deep to center field if the guy's right on the wall, because that batter's eye may block us out. But that's going to be a cool vantage point. That's basically the same vantage point as our center field cameras.
I'll tell you what. If you hold on to my belt, I'll lean over the wall
and tell us
and make sure to see if they make the play below us.
Julia said she's going to come out and visit us out there.
Right out there.
All right, so where those people are standing.
Yep.
I heard you guys are going to have food out there.
Wait.
Really?
That's why I'm coming.
That'll be the vantage point. There it is.
I get to walk around a lot more than you guys. It's exciting. I'm excited for you guys to be out there and see just how many fans congregate in that area, the views. There's not a bad seat in this ballpark.
Yeah, we spent a lot of our games staring out there, wondering how much fun it could be to be out there.
It'll be tough to reach our normal crowd with the peanuts and Cracker Jacks from there.
Yeah, George is going to score big time.
And it's Twitter Tuesday. So we got all that tomorrow.
Oh, man, I forgot.
1-1 pitch to Marcus Semien is fouled away. So fans can interact with us while we're out there. It'll be Sean Manai against Justin Verlander, as if you need anything more. It's Big Tuesday coming up tomorrow. Meanwhile, Garrett Cole has struck out every one of his hitters, or at least one strikeout every inning so far, and 8 total in the game. Ball gets away, and that allows Piscotty to advance to second base.
I think Garrett Cole was pretty upset with himself after that one. See him slap his glove. And a quick refresher on what the signs are with a guy at second base. Here in the 5th inning, that's the first time a runner's gotten to second base. The Astros road ahead is driven by DeMontronRV.com. Talked about that matchup tomorrow. Big Tuesday for Todd and I. Being out there in center field, we get a great matchup between Sean Manaea and Justin Verlander. And then the last 2 games of the series will feature Chris Bassett, Lance McCullers Jr., Edwin Jackson, and Charlie Morton.
That'll be Morton and McCullers' final start leading into the All-Star break. AJ toying with his rotation, just some ideas coming out of the All-Star break. Some of it depends on whether Garrett Cole pitches in the All-Star game or not. 3-2 pitch is down and away, ball 4. Garrett a little frustrated with that walk as he was ahead and then loses Simeon. Second walk allowed by Garrett, and now runners on first and second with 1 out. It's big hats.
Birthday girl.
Always a party out there at the Budweiser party deck, especially when the camera's around. We'll make it a party out there tomorrow.
Oh, no doubt.
1-0 the count to Lucroy, who had an infield single. Sent Jose Altuve into shallow right field, and Altuve just not able to get enough on the throw to get him out. This one tapped back to Garrett. Throws to short for Marwin. Steps on the bag into first for the double play. Double play started by Garrett Cole. We are halfway home in a scoreless game. Sportsnet is presented by Rooms to Go, where you get great style and quality all at the lowest prices on every item every day. And by Nissan, innovation that excites. Bottom half of the 5th inning, Astros and A's only have a combined 3 hits so far. All of them singles. Altuve a single last inning for the Astros. Lucroy and Piscotty singles for the A's, and now Evan Gattis leads off the bottom of the 5th. The last 2 pitchers the Astros facing, Lucas Giolito yesterday and Frankie Montas today, both did not fare well against the Astros in an earlier start this season. Giolito did a good job turning it around yesterday. He went 7 1/3 innings, longest outing of his career. And so far, Frankie Montas has done a nice job as well. Gaddis rips one foul. Evan grounded out to third his first time up. Evan, after having just 8 runs batted in his first 40 games of the season, has 62 now, 45 in his last 30 games, 54 in his last 48. He continues to average over an RBI a game for the past couple of months. Pitch misses. It's 2-1. Called strike 2-2. It'll be Gaddis, the shortstop Marwin Gonzalez, and Kyle Tucker, the first 3 for AJ Hinch here in the 5th.
Usually some pretty good fastball hitters.
Inside, almost hits Evan, and the count goes full.
I believe that is now the 46th fastball thrown by Frankie Montas. 58 pitches in this ball game so far.
He came out firing early, 98, 99, his first 2 pitches, and he has been throwing a lot of fastballs ever since. Got in on the hands of Gaddis. He pops one up. Chapman, the third baseman, there. Out number 1. Julia, what do you have for us?
We see Carlos Correa in the dugout hanging out with his teammates. Earlier today, this is a good sign. We saw him on the field doing some running drills, but also fielding some grounders, starting to do more baseball activities. This is just the beginning for him, though. He's got some more work to do. However, not going to play this series. Doesn't know about the Detroit series. It's getting more and more unlikely that he will play before the All-Star break. And he's getting pretty anxious, as is everyone else, but he will not play until it's all resolved. This first step is a good sign, though.
Good to see Carlos back out, participating in some baseball activities. I know he wanted to be out there as soon as possible, but whether it's the Tigers series or right after the All-Star break, hopefully we see Carlos very soon.
That would be a good thing. Always a potent bat and a good defender to have in the lineup.
Meanwhile, the team with Marwin Gonzalez starting at shortstop is 14-2 this year. And Marwin's played 11 of the last 13 games at short in Carlos's absence. We've seen Alex Bregman move over there for a couple of games. So one of the big positives about last year's 2017 team was no matter who was hurt, somebody would come in and step up, whether it was the catching duo getting hurt, whether it was different starters getting hurt. There was always somebody there to pick them up. Marwin, who walked his first time up, is now ahead of the count, 3-1.
It's got a force field around the strike zone against Montas.
Montas has been ahead of most hitters, but Marwin has only seen 1 strike in 7 pitches, or 8 pitches. Ball 4. Both walks issued by Montas have been delivered to Marwin Gonzalez. He's a 1-out base runner. Tomorrow's a Tuesday. Every Tuesday night home game, Dollar Dog Night, presented by Nolan Ryan Beef. Enjoy all the dollar dogs you can eat. Astros taking on the A's. Justin Verlander against the guy who threw a no-hitter earlier this year, Sean Manaea. For tickets, visit astros.com/dollardogs or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Mentioned at the beginning of this homestand, it's not like you go to the All-Star break and still have half of your home games remaining to check out the defending world champions. Here's Kyle Tucker. By the time the Astros get to the All-Star break, they will have just 28 home games remaining in the second half, if you will. 53 of their 81 home games before the All-Star game. Tucker fouls one back. It's 1-1. Kyle bounced back to the pitcher his first time up. He has now grounded out his last 4 ABs going back to yesterday. Tucker sends one high and deep to center field. Fowler is at back, and he's got a play on it in front of the track. Makes the play. Tucker got into one, but a little shy of the warning track at center.
Might have gotten a little bit quick on it. Got it off the end of the bat. I think that's what it was. Good fastball to hit. Just didn't square it up enough. Off the bat, it looked awfully good. Just kind of faded in front of that warning track. 99 miles an hour off the bat.
That'll bring up Tyler White. Called strike. Tyler flied out to left his first time up. Astros have only had one base runner reach second base, and he wasn't there very long. Jose Altuve got to second on a wild pitch and tried to continue on to third, and it was thrown out. Montas, the 25-year-old right-hander, has done a nice job tonight in his second career start against the Astros. Oh. 1-1 the count. Tomorrow we'll be broadcasting from center field, as we mentioned. Yesterday was a Kids Sunday special broadcast. Nice job by your daughter Mia on the broadcast.
Thank you very much. Caitlin Hinch did a phenomenal job also working with Julia. Good mentor to have too, by the way.
We had 2 great fill-in broadcasters on our show yesterday.
Just glad to still have my job today. Caitlin did a great job. So did Mia, but I had her working down here. she thought she might have come in for a fun day, and we were running all over the ballpark. She was doing interviews, food segments, sponsored elements. That was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. I know that they had a lot of fun too. My daughter Mia went home immediately. My wife had DVR'd it, and that was on replay the second we got in the door.
Very cool. 1-2 pitch is sent on a hop towards Simeon. He will flip to second for the fielder's choice, and that'll do it for the Astros. We head to the 6th, still looking for some offense.
top of the sixth, still no score here at Minute Maid Park. Garrett Cole, 5 scoreless so far. And going back to Garrett's last few starts, he's used the word grind a few times. Even in that last start in Arlington, he was having a lot of trouble on that mound, as was every other pitcher in that game. But some tough outings for him where he hasn't felt really great. The breaking ball's been trouble for him. That's eluded him at times. The command has wavered. So some adjustments that he was trying to make coming into today. One thing that AJ said about Garrett coming into today as well was he wasn't getting to 2 strikes the way he was before, but he's going to be fine. And I heard that several times from different guys. Garrett Cole will be just fine. He's going to be good, and he's done a nice job against a team that came in hot offensively, guys.
Yeah, they have been scoring a lot of runs, Julia, and winning some games. Garrett's been in command throughout since the first inning when he struck out Dustin Fowler to start things. He has struck out Fowler twice so far tonight. 2 of his 8 strikeouts. Fowler leads off here in the 6th, and he is down in the count 0-2, like it seems he has been behind in the count every AB so far tonight. It'll be Fowler, Mark Canha, Jed Lowry for the A's. And a swing and a miss. Garrett Cole picks up strikeout number 9, and in the process he matches a franchise mark for the most strikeouts by an Astros pitcher leading into the All-Star game.
Some of the comparisons between that 2015 year and the 2018 year that he's having here with the Houston Astros. 4th in Cy Young voting in 2015, finished up 19-8, but very similar numbers approaching, but just over halfway through those starts on the right-hand side. But I expect that strikeout number to go up a little bit career-wise for Garrett Cole.
Absolutely. We've never seen Cole come close to striking out this many batters per inning, as he is sitting at 167 strikeouts, the same total for Mike Scott in 1986, which was a club record going into the All-Star game. But Cole has tied that mark. And a 2-0 count here to Mark Canha. Garrett one season struck out 138 in 138 innings, but never has struck out more than 1 per inning in his career. This year looks like that's going to change. 2-1 the count.
I think Mark Canha was trying to hit that one to Memorial City.
That was an aggressive 2-0 swing.
Yeah.
He has fly to center a couple of times, and he sees 3 on the left side of the infield. That ball is hit well down the left field line, hooking foul. Canha got ahead of that one. It's 2-2. This is Cole's 19th start of the season. The year Mike Scott struck out 167 leading into the All-Star break, he had made 22 starts heading into the All-Star game that year. The 9 strikeouts today for Garrett represent the most since he faced the A's back on May the 9th. Last time he had double digits in strikeouts was that masterpiece he threw against the Arizona Diamondbacks on May the 4th. Struck out 16, a career high that night. He got him. Strikeout number 10. Garrett Cole becomes the first Astros pitcher to strike out as many as 168 going into the All-Star break. There have been a lot of good Astros pitchers through the years, and this guy's got the most strikeouts of all of them before the break.
Very good throughout the years, and he's also got another one in the rotation who is high in strikeouts, and Justin Verlander. Just to give you an idea and put things into context, how about the fist pump of the emotion? You think Garrett Cole doesn't know that? You almost feel as if he does. The emotion behind that strikeout. He's probably glad to be back in that 10+ K zone too.
He knew Canada had hit a couple fly balls against him and was a threat with a 2-0 count. He was able to come back 2-0 and strike him out. Nolan Ryan, Larry Dierker, Don Wilson, Justin Verlander, they all, Mike Scott, they all tipped their cap. J.R. Richard. They all tipped their cap to Garrett Cole for the most strikeouts leading into the All-Star break, and he still has one more start to add to that total.
Interesting year too, just in the sense that the All-Star game is a little bit later in the season in comparison to some of those, but it floats throughout the course of every season. You don't want to take anything away from what Garrett Cole is doing. It's been nothing short of impressive.
That year that Mike Scott had those 167, it was kind of a modified 4 or 5-man rotation, so he got a lot of starts, those 22 before the All-Star break. Swing and a miss, and now it's 3-2. Lowry down to a knee on that 3-1 pitch.
Yeah, I think I'd modify it too to get more starts out of a guy like Mike Scott.
It worked out well over the years. Well, he has struck out 10. He's got a 3-2 count here on Lowry.
Lowry's a tough out.
He is. He's flied out and walks, and he stays alive. 99 on that fastball.
He's feeling it.
And Garrett's got it going tonight. Cole sitting at 98 pitches.
With the 10 strikeouts tonight here at Minute Maid Park, that gives him 86 on the season here at home. 82 strikeouts on the road. Done in one less start.
Second time he's walked Lowry in this game, 3rd overall walk, as he draws a 2-out walk.
Are you the ultimate Southwest fan? Louisiana, July is your month to show your spirit. Use hashtag UltimateSWFanLA on Twitter to show us, and you could win a jersey and a VIP experience. So tweet now and win big.
Now Garrett will face Chris Davis. Davis has struck out twice tonight. He's gotten Davis twice. He's gotten Matt Chapman twice. He has struck out Dustin Fowler all 3 times. First pitch to Davis misses. It's 1-0. Garrett now over 100 pitches again. That's the 5th consecutive start he's eclipsed the century mark. 114 is his high total on the year. Ground ball, backhanded fair ball. Bregman into foul territory, tracks it down. The A's have 2 runners on with 2 outs. That'll be a hit for Chris Davis. That extends his hitting streak to 11 games.
Tough backhand play for Alex, kind of an in-between hop. Tried to read it the best he could. The second best outcome other than throwing Chris Davis out is to keep that ball from going down the left field line. Keeps the runners from moving more than 90 feet.
Astros have bullpen action going for the first time. Brad Peacock beginning to throw.
I think all this visit might be a little bit of veteran conversation about how they want to go about attacking Matt Olson, the hitter at the plate, but also just to give him a little bit of a breather and say, hey, you and I both know that you've got a high pitch count. This should be your last hitter if you do it, if you execute the pitches that I put down, I'm sure. But Garrett Cole's he's averaging 104 pitches per start. And like you were saying, Todd, he is a workhorse and doesn't mind throwing those 100+ pitches in a game.
Facing Matt Olson here. And he gets him to swing through the first pitch. It's 0-1. Is that a turbo slider at 90?
Yep. Firm to quite firm. Seen a couple of those in this start, but they've been pretty sharp at 90 miles an hour, biting down and in.
Swing and a miss at 98. It's 0-2. Well, sometimes when Garrett senses the finish line is near, he finds that extra gear. And the fans are going to try and help out with the adrenaline a little as well, as some of them are standing here.
Hundo.
He hit a hundo. There's the extra gear. You love the fact that this guy on his 105th pitch can hit 100.
On the inside corner, too. As a hitter, that's got to be severely disconcerting.
Ball ripped and foul into the first row of the stands. That was hit hard by Olson.
Yeah, even the guy with the glove down there was bailing.
Everybody seems to be okay, but no one can find the ball.
Yeah, hopefully they're not looking for fingers. Matt Olson, with that unique stance, can buggy whip some baseballs when he gets a barrel to it. Hard hit rate up there with J.D. Martinez. Pounded him on that inside corner.
Couple of breaking balls back to back, the slider, then the curveball.
Maybe an elevated fastball around a hundo. That'd be tough to catch up with.
He got him. Garrett Cole at 100 miles an hour, his 11th strikeout. He walks off the mound with 169 strikeouts on the season. The most ever in Astros history before the All-Star game.
You by Nissan. Who is this Astro? Draft status, Midsummer Classic. Put a ring on it. If you know who that Astro is, make sure you tweet your answer to @ATT Sportsnet SW. And stay tuned later in this ball game, and we'll let you know if you're right.
Bottom half of the 6th inning, Tim Fedorovich leading off. He just caught the 11th strikeout from Garrett Cole. Cole at 108 pitches. His night is more than likely over. So the Astros Astros need to score a run this inning to give Cole a chance for a personal W. It'll be Federovich to the top of the order, George Springer and Alex Bregman. Astros have won 6 of the 7 no decisions this year for Garrett Cole. The only time he has left the game with a no decision and the team lost was the game in Cleveland, where the Astros had a 5-run lead going into the bottom half of the 9th inning and would lose that game in 14. So overall 15-3 in Garrett Cole starts, and he has given them a great chance to win again tonight. Montas misses up high. It's 3-1 to Tim Federovich, who struck out his first time up. Montas with just 2 strikeouts so far in the game. Ball's hit hard. Diver, jumping catch by Marcus Semien, and he makes the play. Ball ripped by Federovich. That is out number 1.
I've seen Federovich hit the ball pretty hard since being recalled up here for the Houston Astros. That one on the line. Semien does a good job to elevate. Unfortunately, to take away a hit. 108.4 miles an hour on that line drive. Ooh.
Not squared up many against Montas tonight. George fouls one back. Prior to that, a now Altuve single in the 4th and a Bregman ground down in the 1st. The only other exit velocity of 100 miles an hour or more. Springer down the line and right, and running out of room is Stephen Piscotty. George 0 for 2 tonight. Is that a quick pitch?
Yeah, he's done that a couple times in this ball game.
Didn't work out so well.
Barely noticed.
George is saying, I'm struggling right now. Save the quick pitches for the guys that are going well.
Can we just keep it kind of low key for the time being until I get right?
That low, it's 2-2. Montas is matched Garrett Cole all night long. Astros have been held to just 1 hit. So 1 walk issued in the last inning. Actually 2 walks. Marwin has walked twice. Little flare, left center field, could find some open space and does. George Springer, a 1-out base runner with a base hit to left center.
Not crushed, but a little bit of happiness. That was a tough slider down from Montas. George stays on it. Off the end of the bat, just drops it out there in front of a couple of outfielders for the A's, trying to get something going here at the top of the order for the Houston Astros. They need to put a run on the board for Garrett.
Power was shaded a little bit on the right side of straightaway center and also very deep. As here's Alex Bregman. Bregman has grounded out and flied out to left. Ground ball towards the hole, into left field, base hit. Back-to-back singles for the Astros. They have runners on first and second with 1 out.
Sixth inning, and the first time we've seen multiple Astros on the bases.
First 2 times through the lineup for Frankie Montas. He allowed 1 hit and a couple of walks. Third time through, back-to-back hits. Neither one hit very hard, but they have found the right spots in the defense. And here's Jose Altuve. Altuve owned the lone hit against Montas before this inning. He's also flied to center. Altuve went around on the first offering. It's 0-1. Jose has hit in 17 straight starts now at Minute Maid Park with that hit in the 4th inning. Up to 123 hits on the year. Final tip, 0-2. One and two. Altuve, when behind in the count, still hits .301. That is the 4th best in the major leagues.
I wish I would have known that secret when I was playing.
How to hit 300 when down 1 and 2.
Yeah, maybe it's just a talent thing.
2-2. Count evens up. Astros with their first threat tonight. They've never had more than 1 runner in any inning. Springer on second, Bregman on first, and 1 out.
Altuve drives in a run right here. We could make this the all-star inning.
Trying to get a run in support of an all-star. Garrett Cole 6 shutout innings, but his night looks to be done as AJ continues to have bullpen action going with Brad Peacock. He's thrown enough pitches to be ready. Towards the middle, Simeon is there, steps on the bag and throws, and Altuve is out. Astros hit into a double play. Altuve grounds into 2 to end the inning. So we're scoreless headed to the 7th. Ballpark Bundle. The bundle will include a ticket, a hot dog, a soda, and a popcorn for just $20 during select weekday games. Visit Astros.com/ballpark bundle for tickets and information. Tough no decision for Garrett Cole tonight. As we head to the 7th, Brad Peacock will take over.
Brad Peacock got roughed up a little bit last time out there against the Chicago White Sox. It was turned into a little bit of a blowout game, but he gave up 3 earned runs in that outing against the White Sox. It still has very good numbers with a 2.84 and a whip under 1, 53 strikeouts. Fastball slider still pretty effective to get the swing and miss for Brad Peacock.
Peacock faces Stephen Piscotty to lead things off. Piscotty hit the ball hard against Garrett Cole last time up. One of the few well-struck baseballs against Cole in his 6 innings of work. Piscotty also lined out to center his first time. Cole allows 3 singles, 3 walks in 6 innings of work, and strikes out 11 tonight. Back in double digits in the strikeout department for the first time since that start against the Diamondbacks on May 4th. One and 2 the count. Peacock, a member of the A's organization in 2012, pitched for their AAA team Sacramento after he was acquired by the A's from the Washington Nationals. Then moved along with Max Stassi and Chris Carter in a trade to the Astros before the 2013 season for Jed Lowry and Fernando Rodriguez. The outside corner, it's 2-2. Tough take by Piscotty, and he watches one just miss the plate. It's 3-2.
That is a tough pitch to lay off. Piscotty did a good job just underneath the zone.
Ball hit high and deep to left field. Tucker will watch this one go into the Crawford boxes. Stephen Piscotty has hit a home run for the game's first run. His 10th home run of the year.
9th home run that Brad Peacock has given up this season. Piscotty put together a great AB, laying off that slider the pitch before. Got him in a position to get a pitch he could drive. Slider up. Not much movement, elevated at 81 miles an hour, and Piscotty gets just enough of it.
Seven home runs in his last 35 games. He's found that power surge over the last month plus. 10 on the year, and the A's on the board first.
It's their 49th home run as a team from the 7th inning on.
That is the first hit of this game that was not a single for either side. Swing and a miss by Chapman. It's 0-2. Chapman struck out twice tonight against Garrett Cole. And there's a base hit towards center field on the 0-2 pitch. Chapman reaches. A home run followed up by a single. First hit for Chapman against Peacock in 6 at-bats.
Yeah, that's going to send the bullpen into a little bit of a shuffle right now. Some arms up there to back up Brad Peacock. You don't want to let this get too out of control here. Will Harris grabbing a baseball. We talked about Rob Manfred speeding up the game and putting into the effect that mound visit rule. Because a lot of times in this situation, you would see somebody come visit the mound, whether it be a third baseman, a catcher, a pitching coach, try and give those guys a chance in the bullpen to get loose. A sneaky tactic is stepping off, pick off. Matt Chapman is not a guy that runs. The Oakland A's are not a team that runs. So knowing that Will Harris has got to get up and start to get loose relatively quick, signs will come from the bench, whether maybe a couple of step-offs or a pick-off, giving that pitcher in the bullpen some time to get loose.
Yeah, really only two guys in this whole lineup are threats to run, and even they're not big threats. Simeon at the plate now will run a little bit, and then Dustin Fowler in the leadoff spot. Only 17 team steals coming in for Oakland. Foul back. Peacock ahead 1-2. Laying off some tough sliders.
Yeah, we talked about the chase percentages early and the ability of the Oakland A's organization to have guys that can go up there and lay off those pitches. But this inning, a couple of sliders that these hitters have laid off have been pretty impressive.
Marwin down to a knee to Altuve, safe at second, out at first. Second base umpire David Rackley says Altuve was not on the bag at second, so that is not a double play, just the out at first. Chapman stays at second on the 6-4-3 with only one out recorded.
Melvin's out of the dugout. AJ's wondering who called what. Tough to see from that angle, kind of far away. This should be a little bit better, but that foot is not on the base when Altuve makes that turn. Feeling the urgency to turn that double play, Altuve got a little bit quick at that turn at second base. And in this day and age of the replay, you have to make sure you're in contact with that bag.
And AJ says they don't see any visual proof to warrant a challenge, so that play will.
It's a pretty good read by David Rackley out there to see that initially.
Altuve straddling the bag, never quite put his foot on the bag. So Chapman reaches on the 6-4-3 one put out. Here's Jonathan Lucroy. Lucroy had the first hit of the game for the A's. A little infield single on the right side. To a deep second, shallow right. Couldn't quite make the play. And then Lucroy bounced back to Garrett Cole, who started a double play. In the air to left field. Kyle Tucker is there. Now there's two away. AJ Hinch out of the dugout. Dustin Fowler, the hitter, due up. He likes to bring in Will Harris with a lefty at the plate. And that is the plan tonight. We'll be back with more after this.
Draft status, Midsummer Classic. Put a ring on it. Who is it? Phil Garner. Number 3 overall pick in 1971. 3-time All-Star and 3-time World Series champion with these Oakland A's and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Scrap iron.
I got it wrong.
A couple people did. But we got a new pitcher.
I thought the ring was Carlos Correa.
Some people said Alex Bregman.
Ooh. Will Harris takes over. Runner on second, 2 outs. And we're in the top half of the 7th inning. A lot of times you'll see AJ bring in Will to face a left-hand hitter. That's the case here with Dustin Fowler at the plate. Will appearing in his 38th game of the year. Gets a strike on the outside corner. Fowler has struck out 3 times against Garrett Cole tonight. And Will ahead 0-2. Will last appeared against the White Sox a couple of games ago. Swing and a miss at the breaking ball. Fedorovich has to make the throw to first, and he does. Fowler strikes out for the 4th time today. 7th inning stretch time. Astros down 1-0.
GMC. Matt Chapman at third base has done a very good job all season long. To this point, he leads Major League Baseball with 19 defensive runs saved. And that's a good thing for the Oakland A's. Maybe a little bit of that foul territory play comes in, but the Oakland A's on a whole are not very good defensively. That's why Matt Chapman stands out a little bit more than the rest. As far as fielding percentages are concerned, the Oakland A's are 24th in Major League Baseball, but Matt Chapman establishing himself early in his career as a very good third baseman.
Yeah, he brings that glove to work every day, and it may be a Gold Glove by the end of this year. As we head to the bottom half of the 7th inning, both starting pitchers go 6 shutout innings. Garrett Cole and Frankie Montas, and now the A's turn the ball over to Lou Trevino.
Trevino can bring it. Another guy who pitches in the mid to upper 90s. He's averaging 97.4 miles an hour on that fastball. Change-up curve and a cut fastball also.
First one well outside to Josh Reddick. Montas only needed 88 pitches to get through 6 innings. Struck out 2 to Garrett Cole's 11. Cole threw 108 pitches in his 6 innings of work. Josh grounds one foul. It's 1-1. Trevino a high whiff percentage and a high ground ball rate. Second on the team in both categories amongst relievers. Josh has flied to center and struck out, trying to get something going for the Astros. Houston had runners on first and second and one out last inning, but a double play ended that rally. Astros continue to hit into a lot of double plays on the season. They've hit into 81 double plays. Kansas City came in. Excuse me, they've hit into 91 double plays. Kansas City was the next closest with 80 coming in to tonight. Outside corner call, third strike, says Larry Vanover. Josh Reddick goes down for the first out.
Might have been off that outside edge, but at 100 miles an hour, kind of fooled everybody.
Here's Evan Gattis. Cutter in there at 94. Misses outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Astros 3 hits tonight, all singles. Evan pops one high in the air towards the Astros dugout and behind the Astros dugout. Swing and a miss. Trevino has a couple of strikeouts coming out of the bullpen, getting Gattis for the strikeout for the second out. Watch the Astros your way by downloading the new AT&T Sportsnet app from iTunes or Google Play, or visit attsportsnet.com to stream on your computer. Log in with your cable account and you're all set. Available for those with AT&T Sportsnet in their TV subscription. Blackouts and territorial restrictions apply. 2 outs, base is empty. That'll bring up Marwin Gonzalez. Marwin walked a couple of times. Frankie Montas able to throw strikes to everybody but Marwin. And Trevino misses on the first one here. It's 1-0. Montas 53 strikes of 88 pitches, 2 walks, both to Marwin Gonzalez. Around the bunt and caught in the air by Lou Trevino. That'll be a 1-2-3 inning.
by TXU Energy. It is Garrett Cole, of course, 6 innings strong, no runs given up, 11 strikeouts and scattering 3 hits, all of them singles. Did a very good job with that fastball, curveball, slider, a couple of changeups mixed in there. But with that mix, he created 23 swings and misses.
Wow. Yeah, he had electric stuff tonight. It's a shame right now he's got a no decision, and the Astros are down in this game 1-0. Just haven't been able to solve the A's pitching so far. Mark Canha leads off against Will Harris. Takes a called strike. It's 1-1. 2, 3, and 4 hitters: Mark Canha, Jed Lowry, and Chris Davis. For this A's team that has won 16 of their last 20 and trying to break an 8-game losing streak against the Astros. It's really about Melvin's team. Really has started to play some outstanding baseball since Houston last saw them.
Yeah, for sure. You know, looking ahead to this homestand, the Astros were already talking about the A's coming into town. They knew it would be a good series, so they're very aware of all the wins that the A's are piling up. And AJ even said today what makes them dangerous at this point of the season is that offense and their ability to control the zone. They're doing damage and waiting for the pitches that they know they can hit out of the ballpark. He said it seems right now that they have an answer for everything, and then of course separating themselves from the 500 mark definitely means that you're a really good team.
Yeah, it's probably going to make them think a little differently as they get to the trade deadline now that they are 10 games over.
There's so many analytics out there these days, and you wonder about probabilities and winning and percentages and how does that play out the rest of the year. Sometimes that'll have an impact on whether a team chooses to go out there and do anything. But this could be a little bit of a statement series for these guys in that Oakland A's dugout.
The A's will play 4 against the Astros. And then they'll have 3 against the Giants back in the Bay Area at the Giants home stadium before they head to the All-Star break. So see where they are at the break. They come out of the break with the Giants again, and then the Rangers and the Rockies before the trade deadline. Into center field. Springer is there, lines it up for the first out. Coming into today, the A's trailed the Mariners by 6.5 games for the second wild card spot in the AL. There's the AL West standings with the Astros in front by 3.5 games. The night off tonight, so that half game will go away. The Astros will either lead by 3 or 4. Here's Jed Lowry. Lowry has flied out twice, and he was strikeout number 10 tonight for Garrett Cole. That was the one that set the mark for Garrett. Most strikeouts by an Astros pitcher prior to an All-Star game. Best ever in franchise history. Ground ball right side. Altuve is there. Lowry is 0 for 4 tonight. Check that. Lowry's 0 for 2 tonight. And he grounds out for the second out. Two outs, base is empty. That'll bring up Chris Davis. Mark Canha was strikeout victim number 10 for Cole tonight, and Davis kept that inning alive with an infield hit, and then Olsen was strikeout victim number 11. Pitch misses for a ball. It's 1-0. Davis did strike out his first 2 times up before that infield hit down the line. No bullpen action going for the A's. Lou Trevino could be out for a second inning.
He looked pretty good.
Yeah, he did.
Throwing hard. Some nasty movement with high velocity.
Now it's 3-0 to Chris Davis. Trevino stretching around like he thinks he's back out for the 8th. There's a strike. It's 3-1. Will back in the count after being down 3-0. It's now a full count. Only run of this game, a Stephen Piscotty solo home run to start the 7th. Up high, ball 4. Davis draws a walk. 4th walk of the night allowed by Astros pitching. And Harris will face Matt Olson. Olson popped up, struck out in the 4th, and struck out in the 6th. He was the final batter Garrett Cole faced. Cole threw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball that Olson couldn't connect with for the final strikeout of the night. His 108th pitch was 100 miles an hour. Called strike, 1-1. According to StatCast, the swinging strike Olson missed the last pitch of the game was 99.9. A pitch earlier in that sequence, which was his 105th overall pitch, was 100.3.
Jeez.
Nice to have something left in the tank.
My goodness.
Garrett Cole's one of the rare starters who can throw 100 pitches in a game and at pitch 105 throw over 100 miles an hour.
We've got 2 guys in the rotation that can do that. Justin Verlander has a long history of being able to reach back in late ball games.
Saw Blake Trinan just begin to warm up. He did not warm up until deep into the Chris Davis count. So it still probably will be Lou Trevino in the 8th, depending on what happens the rest of this inning. Will got ahead of Matt Olson, but now it's 3-2. Chris Davis will get a head start off first with 2 outs.
Good job of fending off that breaking ball. I like the call. Not one of the nastier ones you're going to see from Will Harris with 2 strikes, but a good pitch and a fastball count.
Ball 4, back-to-back walks issued here with 2 outs. Davis and now Matt Olson. AJ had Joe Smith warming up. Talking things over with Brent Strom here with Stephen Piscotty due up. And AJ is going to come out and make the move. So Will Harris goes 1 inning, gets the final out of the 7th in the first 2 outs of this inning, but back-to-back walks, and now it'll be Joe Smith's turn when we come back. Yesterday it was the Astros defeating the White Sox 2-1 with a run in the 7th inning, and tonight a 1-0 game as we play in the 8th. A's are threatening though with a couple of walks with 2 outs, and the new pitcher for the Astros is Joe Smith.
Joe Smith looking to pick up Will Harris after a couple of walks. 25 games this season. He has a record of 3-1. He's not a high strikeout guy, still trying to work that ERA down a little bit after a little bit of a hiccup early on this season. A couple of outings off the DL is Joe. He picked up that 3rd win on the 5th against the Chicago White Sox, where he went an inning, gave up a hit, nothing else, did so in 8 pitches.
He will face Stephen Piscotty, who's the difference in this game. Piscotty hitting a 3-2 pitch over the wall and left into the Crawford boxes off of Brad Peacock. Also lined to center and hit a line drive single off of Garrett Cole. He's hit the ball hard 3 times tonight. 2 on and 2 outs. Up the middle, that'll be a base hit on the first pitch. Around third comes Davis. Springer's throw is not quite in time. The A's score their 2nd run. It is 2-0. Both runs driven in by Stephen Piscotty.
Back-to-back ABs with hits and back-to-back ABs with RBIs. Accountable for both runs. That one blew him up, but he was able to twist it over the head of Jose Altuve. George's throw not close. 2-out Lightning from the A's.
2 out, nobody on, and they get a walk, and a base hit. Here's Matt Chapman. Chapman has a hit in 3 at bats. Ground ball. Bregman knocks it down. Long throw in time. Alex stays with it for the final out of the inning. The A's score a run and lead 2-0 as we head to the bottom half of the 8th.
Park this Friday night to see the best fireworks show in town. This week's Friday Night Fireworks, presented by Occidental Petroleum, will be synced to Disney songs. Visit Astros.com/Friday nights for tickets.
Astros need a little bit of offense here. Bottom half of the 8th inning, down 2-0. Kyle Tucker leads things off. Trevino very impressive in his first inning of work, striking out 2 and getting a little bunt back to the pitcher for the final out. Tucker grounds one right side. Matt Olson gloves and flips to the pitcher. Trevino covering. And on one pitch, there's 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Kyle now 0 for 3 tonight, 1 for 10 in his young big league career. I'll bring up Tyler White. White flied out to left and also grounded into a fielder's choice. Astros have only had 2 innings where a runner has reached second. In one of those innings, Altuve was out as soon as he reached second, trying to stretch it to third. The other was the 6th inning when they had first and second and 1 out. Frankie Montas, final batter he faced, Jose Altuve, grounded into a double play to end that inning. The Astros major league leading 91st double play of the year. So not a lot of threats tonight against this Oakland pitching staff. As White fouls one over his own dugout, it's 1-1.
No, it's the offense. I agree with you. Or I should maybe take up the torch and say that a lot of it falls on the offense, but you do have to give credit to the Oakland A's. We talked about Montas coming into this game with some issues as far as walks are concerned and earned runs, but he pitched incredibly well against this team. 3 hits against one of the better offenses in all of baseball. I know there's some key players missing, but still there's guys in there that can put ABs up against you, but minimal opportunities.
And once you get to this point of the game, if you're not tied or ahead of the A's, they can finish off games with Trevino and Trinan.
Yeah, Trinan has been outstanding.
This ball's hit slowly to third. Chapman coming in. Makes the play for out number 2. The Astros have a stretch of 4 consecutive series here at Minute Maid Park where they have at least 1 walk-off in every series. But this is going to be a team that they may be challenged to figure out a way to walk one off. The A's are 34-0 when leading after 7 innings. Tim Fedorovich bats with the bases cleared and 2 outs. That number goes from 34-0 to 41-0 when they lead after 8. Fedorovich fouls one into the second deck. It's 0-1. Tim hit the ball hard his last time up, but he lined one to the shortstop, Marcus Semien, who made the play in the 6th inning. He's also struck out. AJ looks down at his lineup card and realizes that he does have the top of the order coming up either this inning or if Fedorovich is retired to start the 9th. Also has that guy on the bench if he so chooses. Fedorovich down in the count 0-2. Swing and a miss. Trevino 2 perfect innings out of the Oakland bullpen. And we head to the 9th, 2-0.
from tonight's Chevy Stropole. If you could only choose one, which Astros player would you add to the All-Star team? We asked this earlier. Almost 2,500 of you voted in the Stropole. Look how close this was, too. Colin McHugh is the winner with 38%. Thanks for voting. Thanks for following at ATT Sportsnet SW. TK?
That's a great ball right there. It's almost split right down 3 ways.
A lot of votes, and yeah, Colin McHugh edging that thing out.
There's only one guy in the American League with a better ERA than Colin McHugh, and he is warming up in the A's bullpen. Blake Trinan amongst some AL relievers as Marcus Semien leads off here in the 9th inning. Joe Smith still out there for the Astros. He came on and allowed a single, but also got the final out of the 8th inning. Semien has struck out, walked, and grounded into what almost was a double play, but the Astros missed the bag at second. Off the foot of Semien. He goes down to the plate. It's 1-1. Stephen Piscotty has driven in both runs for the A's today. He is 3 for 4 with a couple of RBIs. Not much offense other than Piscotty, just 3 other hits for the A's and 3 hits for the Astros. Ground ball up the middle. Altuve was shaded to the other side, but makes the play to his left for out number 1. That'll bring up Jonathan Lucroy, 1 for 3 tonight. Slowly hit towards third. Bregman comes in, takes his time, makes a strong throw on the money for out number 2.
When Joe Smith is going good, that's what he's doing, is getting ground balls, especially from right-handed hitters with that fastball running in on their hands.
3 in a row for Smith on the ground after that opening single by Piscotty last inning, and now top of the order, Dustin Fowler. Tough night for Fowler. He has struck out 4 times. 3 times against Garrett Cole and also Will Harris. Got him to end the 7th. One and 2 the count. Slider coming down and in on Fowler.
I think Fowler guessed wrong, overcommitted, and almost got hit by it.
Gets a piece of that one and stays 1 and 2. Astros will have George Springer, Alex Bregman, Jose Altuve due up in the bottom of the 9th inning. They have had the walk-off magic going the last couple of homestands. Outside is 2 and 2. Called third strike, caught the outside corner. Joe Smith, a 1-2-3, top of the 9th. Top of the order, due up, down 2. AT Sportsnet is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Shoppa's John Deere, your local John Deere dealer with 8 area locations. On we go to the bottom half of the 9th inning. Astros need some offense, but they are facing a tough customer as Blake Trinan takes over.
All-star Blake Trinan. What's interesting about him is he got traded from the Washington Nationals for a couple of back end of the bullpen type guys. Nationals now watching Blake trying to become an all-star closer, 36 games. That's at reliever leading .81 ERA. How about the top 5 ERA leaders for relievers? 2 A's, 2 Astros, and Aroldis Chapman.
How about that? There you go. There's the list. We already saw Lou Trevino shut down the Astros in the 7th and the 8th innings, retiring all 6 batters he faced. Colin McHugh and Hector Rondon also in the top 5. Trinan said he was thrilled to head back to where he made his major league debut and pitched for those years with the Nationals, as he will represent the American League All-Stars for A.J. Hinch. But right now, A.J. wants to see Blake give up at least 2 runs in this inning. George Springer a single and 3 at bats. Up the middle, the Astros get the bottom of the 9th started with a base hit by Springer. That is his first multi-hit game since June 10th, as he is 2 for 4 tonight.
It's a good start. What's even crazier about that is that right-handed hitters against Trinan coming into this game are hitting 107. 107! Sinker slider mix has been devastating to right-handed hitters.
And he will face the first 3 hitters, all righties. Bregman and Altuve also after Springer. Alex 1 for 3 tonight. He has been right in the midst of all these walk-off heroics. No chance for a walk-off, but he can tie it up. Called strike. Bregman has hit in 13 of his last 14 games. Doesn't chase the slider. It's 1-1.
Gotta love these matchups. All-stars, big moments. The Astros don't panic at home because they know they get that last AB.
Fouled the fastball away. It's 1-2. 28,301. Haven't had a whole lot to cheer about tonight, but now they're looking for a bottom of the 9th inning rally. .99. Alex stays alive.
It's pretty impressive how guys this day and age have so much velocity to begin with, but can also create a little bit of that run at 99 miles an hour and a little bit of run. That's how you tie up good big league hitters like Alex Bregman. But doing a good job locating it on the inside corner, trying possibly to set up that slider away.
Reaches out, pops one up, playable. Olsen in foul territory. Puts it away for the first out.
Alex trying to spoil that one, got a little too much of it, kept it in the field of play.
Here's Jose Altuve. Altuve 1 for 3 tonight. A little frustrating night for Altuve. The reigning MVP ran into and out in the fourth after he advanced on a wild pitch. Into a double play his last time up. Missed the bag on second. Potential double play, so some uncharacteristic mistakes for Altuve tonight, but a chance to redeem himself here, and a 99-mile-an-hour fastball that he misses for strike one. '99 followed by '98.
With depth. It's not easy to do. Ball is not in the air that long to be able to create that kind of movement, but Blake Trinan has figured something out with high velocity. A good movement down and in off that inside corner at '98. Great job of battling by Jose.
Foul tip caught by Lucroy. That's a strikeout. Trinan picks up the second out with his first strikeout.
That is a power slider. And again, as a hitter, you're trying to defend 98, 99 on the inside corner with movement, and he snaps off a slider. Blake Trinan has been working it pretty good here in the first half, earning that right to go to the All-Star game, but it just takes one mistake.
There's a ball ripped into center field. That's down for a hit. Springer thought about going to third, but he's going to hold up. That puts the tying runs on base for Evan Gattis. Josh Reddick with his first hit of the night.
We talked about the splits. Righties hitting 107. The left-handed hitters are having a little bit better time seeing that arm side fastball. At 99 miles an hour, Josh Reddick does a good job of barreling that up and shooting it right back up the middle.
Only the second time in this game the Astros have had a runner as far as second base that stayed there. Springer in the sixth and now Springer in the ninth. And a chance for Evan Gattis. Gattis has grounded out, popped up and struck out. Leads the team in home runs, leads the team in runs batted in.
That ball's moving away from Evan Gattis. It's not fair. Have I told you how comfortable my seat is right now? Slider average is almost 90 miles an hour. Cut fastball is 93 plus.
Trying to hold up. 1-1.
Gattis was on the same page, guessed right. Just got a little too antsy on that pitch down and in. wanted to attack, but again, that depth, you can kind of see that dropping below that hitting zone.
Two and one. If Evan reaches, Marwin Gonzalez waits on deck. Starting to get interesting now. Tying runs aboard in a 3-1 count for a guy who has been red hot lately. 10 home runs, 36 runs batted in his last 29 games. Everything at the knees and below. Jonathan Lucroy, you want Blake Trinan to throw this pitch with absolute conviction. So they're not going to mess around with, you sure you want this? They're going to go out and talk about it.
If it's a fastball in, you better be darn sure you get it in, tie him up. But Evan Gattis, I would imagine, might be thinking the same thing, trying to cheat on it. Rocket one out of here in a 3-1 count. Maybe a cut fastball. We've seen good command from Blake Trinan, too, on all three pitches. It could be any one of them. There it was. Missed it. Does he do it again? And you can say all you want about Marwin Gonzalez on deck, struggling of late. We've seen a couple of bunts in situations we normally see him swinging in. But if you put that tying run at second base and put the winning run on, you're playing with fire.
And you've mentioned he struggled more against lefties.
Lefties are hitting 240. Josh Reddick already with the base hit up the middle. I would imagine Blake Trinan is doing everything he can to get this guy right here.
Again, Lucroy and Trinan trying to figure out what to throw to Evan Gattis here with a 3-2 count.
Only given up one home run on the season to Justin Upton of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Swing and a miss, ball game over. Trinan able to come in and close the door in the ninth. The Astros threatened with a couple of base hits, Springer and Reddick. But Trinan strikes out Evan Gattis to end the game. So the Oakland A's continue their winning ways. They have now won 17 out of 21. That is their 7th shutout of the season, and the Astros have been shut out for the 6th time this year. 2-0 the final. We'll have more with the postgame show coming up around the corner.